Welcome back on Dino. Today I want to propose you the unboxing and review about the Blood Bowl team of the Seraphon. Forget that I'll never try to pronounce this one because I know for sure that it will be a worst tongue that I ever saw. So no, at all. But anyway, I bought this one because I love the Seraphon and I fall in love for the Saurus that are here, because I thought that they were perfect about using them for the Saurus guard. So I was really amazed by these models and I decided to buy because I really loved. And now, so I bring you this box and we go to see the box itself after I've opened it. So we can see that the first image is this one. We can find also these images that you can cut and use somewhere else because it's a perfect icon. Here we can find the contents inside that are not quite similar from these ones, but we can find also the accessories that are painted, and they are really quite amazing ones. As you can see, really beautiful models with the decals, the suggestion how to paint. So really a great one. We can find that there is nothing more. So now we can open the box itself and see the contents inside. Here we can find the decals that are inside. They are really amazing ones. We have the black ones and the white ones. The white ones are the same that we can find in the black ones, but simply they are not so seeable. Okay, but anyway, you can see these ones. Sincerely, I find them really quite interesting. These icons can be really quite awesome to create modification, decorations. These ones to use as decoration, for example, for some standards and so on. And these icons themselves can be used to create the standards themselves, because they are really quite interesting as designs, and I think that can be really quite useful. For example, also these ones can be useful to, for example, put on the base to make understand the model, to decorate something. So they are really quite interesting in such a way. And I suggest you to take note because they can be really quite a good inspiration. Simply, I like quite a lot these decals. Then we can put them aside and see the rest of the things inside. Then we had the instructions about how to build the model itself. And they can be useful to understand if you want to modify them or monetize them. So they can be really quite interesting. Moreover, if you think that these models, for example, can be used in the way that you can gain these as models as the ones that are, or change them in champions for your units or special characters or some heroes of Age of Sigmar, for example, models. And I think that they are quite amazing ones. So I suggest you to give a sight about these and take notice about the different options that you have, because they can be really quite interesting. For example, these hands can be monetized. You cut here and you realize, as in the model that I realized about the Trogodon Carnosaurus, and so have, for example, these options. So you can have these and make the change. So you can have different weapon options that you can gain. And about this model, remember that I'll put the video about this in the description eventually. So take note about such things because you can gain quite a lot. So pay attention. And so we can put them aside and see the rest. Here we can find the bases that are inside, are all 32mm ones. They are really quite nice as bases, quite easy to modify, to monetize or so on, so take note eventually. I suggest you to keep maybe some roller pin to create the base so that you can have quite a better understanding of the things. So it's really quite interesting as basis, good quality eventually. I yet tested them about, and so if you are interested about the bases, I suggest you to see my playlist about the bases themselves, because they can be useful if you want to personalize them. So we can put them aside. So now we can see the sprue themselves of the Minotaurs. We can see that they are the same, so I'll take only one. These, I think that they are really quite amazing ones. So I suggest you to take note about these Minotaurs and think about using them. I fall in love for the dynamism of these Saurus, because I think that they are really quite amazing as models and dynamic ones. I love, for example, these details that can be useful for realize modifying for the Saurus guard or other things. Really amazing one. Also, this, for example, that it's the coin for the BloodBowl that we can find here. The design can be perfect as usage for the design, so you can copy the design and use them, or even take it like it is, only to remember that it comes from the BloodBowl team, and it's simply amazing one. These little models about the slug can be perfect as tokens, and also, for example, these models about the Shinx can be really quite awesome. About how to use such models, I want to remember you that you have different options. So you can use, for example, the trick about the Saurus, that you can monetize the arms themselves, or as I said, about the models to monetize the wrist, and so to change the weapon. It's up to you to decide how you want to monetize. And even if you go to see the Shinx themselves, can be useful, because you can, for example, monetize the Shinx in the way that can be useful for your game if you want to change something and so on. There are quite a lot of projects that you can create with them. Eventually, remember that I have a playlist about the Seraphon that you can use to have referring about monetizing and modifying the Seraphon themselves. Simply, I think that this is one of the best bases to modify and personalize your armies. Think about these models about the Saurus. They are perfect to create, for example, the champions for your units, or to create the Saurus guard, or even if you go to proceed a bit further, you can create your own heroes with these models, and they are perfect because they are really quite dynamic. They are really quite in movement, so they are really nice to create. Simply, I really fall in love for such models because they're really quite amazing. Eventually, remember that I also realized a video about BloodBowl for the Champions of Death, for the death ones, so the skeletons, ghouls, and mummies. And remember that these models, you can consider them or as a squad for BloodBowl, or a way to create the base for modifying your Seraphon armies and so on. So pay attention to such models, because I hope that in the future the models released from the GW will have such quality, because it's an amazing one. But if it would not be so, these ones can be really a good way to create something that you like for your armies. So pay attention about such models. Anyway, from Dynamod it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.